two top teams in the CCIW do battle tonight at R.A. Faganell Hall. Thanks for joining us here on Blue Jay TV. And as we get set for tonight's matchup, let's send it down to the court for tonight's starting lineups. And those are your starting lineups for tonight's ball game. Again, thanks for joining us for this broadcast of Blue Jay TV presented by Elmhurst, our kind of town. We have two good teams here tonight at R.A. Faganell Hall. Elmhurst comes in 7-7, 3-2 in CCIW action. North Park on the other side is 8-5 overall, 3-1 in the CCIW. Let's run through those starting lineups real quick for you in case you didn't catch them. First for Elmhurst, at guard, Kelly Wyrick, a freshman, 5'4", out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. Joined in the backcourt by Lisa Logan, a junior guard out of Aurora, Illinois. That's Hannah Henderson, a senior guard out of Palos Heights, Illinois. Jasmine Bailey, a senior guard out of Ottawa, Illinois. And then in the front court, the All-American Michaela Eppert, a senior guard out of Edgewood, Colorado. For North Park, Gabby Sandoval, a junior guard. Shaylee Sloan, a senior forward. As we tip off this one, and Elmhurst takes the tip. Rounding out that North Park lineup, Zakia Newsome, a freshman guard. Clarissa Ramos, a senior forward. And Bree Lippert, a senior center. So we're underway here. The Blue Jays with the first possession of the night to the bucket, and they draw a foul on this first chance offensively. The foul goes against Zakia Newsome. As you take a look at the replay, it was Hannah Henderson on the drive, the senior guard. And she'll start off this game at the stripe. Henderson averaging 9 points a game, shooting right around 60% at the free throw line, and she swishes the first. Free throw number 2 on the way, also good. 2-0 Blue Jays in the early going here. Now we get our first look at the North Park offense, which is scoring right around 61 points per game. About 10 points less than Elmhurst is averaging per contest. Left-handed hook from Lippert, no good. Here comes Elmhurst the other way. Man the point, Wyrick. Eppert posting up inside. We're bound to see her touch the rock a lot. Wyrick with a 3 from the left side, no good. Off a hop, Lippert picks it up. Some full court pressure from Wyrick, nearly creates a turnover. Instead, North Park goes the other way. And they'll slow things up. North Park definitely a defensive-oriented team. As we see a foul underneath on the post-up. It was Shaylee Sloan forcing the action. Sloan looking inside, and the foul goes against Elmhurst. Ramos up top. Pass it off to the inbounder, and we get another foul. That will be charged to Bree Lippert, the senior center. She picks up her first. Second team foul against North Park. So a bit of a choppy start to this one, with 3 fouls in just a minute of action. Wyrick, the freshman guard at point, with a spin and hands it off to the senior Henderson. Wyrick gets it back as Elmhurst works in the half court. Here's Eppert inside, averaging 16 points per game with the right hand up and good. A strong move from the senior to make it 4-0. Let's see if North Park can respond. Shooting 37% from the floor on the year. Here's Sloan inside with the dribble. Now pull-up jumper free throw line, and it bricks off. Elmhurst content to give North Park that shot on the other end. Now a takeaway and a breakaway for Zakiya Newsome, who will finish at the bucket. Newsome creating offense here for North Park, who gets on the board about 2 minutes into this contest. Here's Henderson off to Eppert. She'll shoot from 19 feet. Rolls around, but the soft bounce won't go. Now stripped away in the backcourt. Good defense from Henderson, but North Park gets it back, and they have numbers. Floated inside for Ramos, but it goes off a Blue Jay hand. It looks like Eppert was the last to touch it, and will stay on this end. Sloan exits the contest for North Park, replaced by Alicia Arnold. Gabby Sandoval triggering the North Park offense. Her shot clangs off. Long rebound for Kelly Wyrick. Wyrick playing point. Dribble drive on the baseline. Slings it out. Long three on the way. Swish! It's Lisa Logan, the junior guard, with the tray. She's shooting 32% from deep on the year, hitting about a third of her shots from downtown. That one puts Elmhurst up by 5. Now it's stolen away. Good defense by Eppert to poke it from the posting up player, and she'll go coast to coast. Nice left-handed layup by the senior forward, and Elmhurst is on a roll to start this one off. It's 9-2 Blue Jays, forcing Amanda Crockett to call timeout. As we said, two good teams are coming into this one, but Elmhurst has dominated this series as of recent. They've won 8 of the last 9, and they've taken 5 straight against North Park. Blue Jays have also played some stiff competition to start off their conference slate, which is part of the reason that they are 3-2 right now in CCIW action. They lost to Illinois Wesleyan last weekend on the road. As you take another look at Michaela Eppert going coast to coast and just kissing it off the glass with the left hand. North Park, on the other hand, has played some of the teams closer to the bottom of the CCIW conference so far. They played at Wheaton, which is a tougher game for sure. They've also played games against Milliken, North Central. They won those pair. As we resume action here, a little up and under move from Clarissa Ramos, and she puts it home. Good work by Amanda Crockett during the timeout to draw up a half-court play to get a quick bucket. 9-4 the score. Henderson, left-handed dribble, has to spin around, tries to zip it off to a teammate, but again stolen away. Points off turnovers, key for North Park early. They've got 2 steals leading to buckets, and it's 9-6. A little 4-0 run for the Vikings out of the timeout. Crossover dribble underneath from Wyrick, bounces it out for her teammate Logan, but she traveled. Pulled up her pivot foot before she put the ball on the deck. Here come a couple of subs now for Tethny Carrillo. Carrillo's in her 11th season as the head coach of Elmhurst College. She'll slide Kayla Jones into the game here, a senior forward out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Julia Madrid has entered well, a junior out of Carlsbad, California. Almost halfway through our first quarter now. Sloan up top. Tries to enter it for Clarissa Ramos, and there's a foul on the entry pass. Second team foul against Elmhurst at this point. goes against Madrid, her first. Ball back in play now. Arnold near side for a shooting Ramos, who swishes the long two, and it's 9-8. A 6-0 run now for North Park after Amanda Crockett took a timeout down 9-2, and they force another turnover, but a travel is called against the Vikings. North Park is playing some stifling defense in the half court, looking for chances to jump into the passing lanes, and again they stole it away there. If not for the travel, they would have had a chance to take the lead. Elmhurst with it with a fresh shot clock. Kayla Jones getting her first chance offensively. Little rip move from Eppert, and she puts it home again. Eppert's got a quick 6 points in this game. And Elmhurst has their first basket since Crockett called the timeout about 2 minutes in. Sloan on the block. Lost it on the dribble. Stripped away by Eppert. She's doing it on both ends. Crossover dribble from Jones in transition, but a sloppy pass to the far side. And the Blue Jays turn it over. Sloan will head to the bench for the Vikings. Replaced by McKenna Powell. She gets her first minutes of the night now. And another whistle here in the half court. We're seeing a lot of fouls on entry passes, on posts up. And they'll issue that foul to Sinead Malloy. She picks up her first. Third team foul against North Park. More than halfway through our first quarter now. Lobbed in for Eppert, and again, she kisses it off the glass. Eppert is getting low post position, and she's making the Vikings pay. Eppert averages 16 points a night, almost 11 rebounds. Stands 5'11" out of Edgewood, Colorado. Was a second-team All-American last year, and she's showing us why. And on the layup, a foul is called against Elmhurst. The foul goes against Logan. She picks up her first. Third-team foul against Elmhurst in the quarter. And going to the stripe is Clarissa Ramos. Ramos has played well in the early going here. Getting some low post position and forcing the issue in the half court. Her first free throw up, rolls around and drops. Ramos is shooting just below 53% at the stripe this season. She averages 7.5 points a game. And she makes number 2. That draws North Park within 3, and she'll head off to the bench. A lot of size in the game right now for North Park. They're definitely bound to play with more forwards than Elmhurst, who started this game with a 4-guard lineup, and the way Michaela Eppert plays, you could even consider her a guard sometimes. And a double dribble called. McKenna Powell tried to drive with the left and ended up using both hands. Here's Elmhurst. Jumper from Jones, little strong. Nice rebound ripped down from Sinead Malloy, and she double dribbles. She wanted to pass it near side to Zakia Newsom to get the fast break going. Let's take another look. Here's Sinead Malloy, and yeah, you see her put both hands on the basketball. That's going to be a double dribble. Three minutes and change left in our first quarter. Wyrick in the corner, a crossover dribble. She's been working that baseline all game so far. Now on the block, flipped up and in. It's Julia Madrid with the bucket. She's only playing about 6 minutes of contest and averaging less than 2 points per game, but she's already in the scorer's sheet this evening. Back and forth we've gone here in the first quarter. Dribble drive on the baseline from Gabby Sandoval, who has had a slow start, and she misses short on the baseline jumper. Jones again playing point. Floats it out for Wyrick, and now they swing it around to get it back to Jones. Her three on the way, rattles off. Offensive rebound from Madrid, back up and good! Julia Madrid with an early 4 points, and here she has a chance for a three-point play. Great strength to rip down the board. Follows it up with the layup. Madrid shooting just below 50% at the line. 50% from the floor. That was her first free throw of the season. She connects, and it's now 18-10. North Park needs an answer now. They had crawled within one to make it 9-8. But since then, Elmhurst has been on fire, and it's going to continue. Hannah Henderson strips it away and finishes with the left on the other end. Make it an 11-2 run. This time it's the Blue Jays in the passing lane. Henderson with the easy bucket. And now you can see North Park pressing a little bit on the offensive end, feeling like they need a bucket. Madrid with some pressure defense on the outside, and this time she's going to pick up the foul. It's number 2 against Madrid, as Zakia Newsome comes off the bench to replace Alicia Arnold. Madrid jogged off the court momentarily, and now they're saying Michaela Eppard will actually take a breather here with less than 2 minutes left in the quarter. Elmhurst currently doubling up the North Park Vikings. Here on Blue Jay TV, this broadcast brought to you by Elmhurst, our kind of town. Vikings looking for a response. Up and under layup, no good. An offensive rebound, another chance for the Vikings. This time the putback fouls. Alicia Panthier finishes it off. And the Vikings have snapped a little scoring drought. Wyrick throws up a long three. Off rim, no good. Here comes North Park the other way. Sandoval trying to work on Henderson to the baseline. Gives it off to Sinead Malloy, a freshman guard out of Chicago, went to Trinity High School. Now Zakia Newsome. Went to nearby Glenbard North High School. Inside for Lippert. She's got size at 6'1", and she'll finish that one off. A short 4-0 run for the Vikings. Exactly what Amanda Crockett needed before the end of the first quarter. Malloy with some pressure defense near the three-point line. Again, hands in the passing lane from the Vikings, and they force another turnover. Malloy in transition to the bucket and throws it high off the glass and in. A 6-0 run for the Vikings. And take another look. It's Malloy, the freshman guard, who averages almost 6 points per game, with the easy bucket. Ball tapped away from Wyrick. Hustling it down in the corner is Malloy. 9 seconds left in the corner, and the Vikings are looking to push. Here comes Sandoval. Behind the back dribble on Jones. Goes up at the right, and it falls out of bounds with just 3 seconds left to play in the quarter. A couple subs here. Ramos comes in for North Park. Elmhurst will bring in Daniela Borisic to defend the bucket here. A 4-point game near the end of the first quarter. Dribble drive from Newsome off the inbound pass, and she draws the foul. A nicely drawn up play from Amanda Crockett. Here's Newsome receiving the inbound pass and forces the issue. Free throw number 1 for her, up and off back iron, no good. Newsome is shooting right around 80% at the stripe this season, though. We'll see if she can knock down number 2. On the way, good. A 7-0 run. Elmhurst had an 11-2 run. in the middle of the first quarter, and North Park sure did answer before we could conclude our first period. So one period of action complete now at R.A. Faganell Hall. Let's take a look at our first quarter stats. Elmhurst got 8 points from Michaela Eppard, surprise, surprise, the senior guard who's also an All-American and a 3-time All-Conference honoree. Played a very good first period. She averages a double-double, 16 points per game and almost 11 rebounds. Just one board for her in that first period, though. For Elmhurst, Julia Madrid also chipped in 5 points. She's hot to start off this ball game. Hannah Henderson had 4 points on just 1 shot and 2 free throws. She's perfect from the floor so far. Lisa Logan chipped in 3 points as well. On the other side for North Park, 8 points from Clarissa Ramos. She started off hot. Ramos averages less than 8 points a game, so she's playing really well in the first 10 minutes. And then you just see 2 or 3 points from a bunch of other players. Alicia Panthier has a deuce. Sinead Malloy had an easy layup in transition. Bree Lippert, the senior center out of Greenville, Wisconsin, got a post-up layup. And then Zakia Newsome has 3 points. She has 1 free throw and then a deuce as well. So back to action we go. 7-7 Elmhurst, 8-5 North Park here in CCIW action at R.A. Faganell Hall in the western suburbs of Chicago. Out of the timeout, it's Ramos posting up, and she's into double figures already. 10 points for the senior forward out of Elgin. A 9-0 run now for the North Park Vikings. Elmhurst looking to answer, no good. It was Lisa Logan on the fadeaway turnaround. And now North Park has a chance to take the lead. Entry pass for Lippert, who has all the size that she needs to put that one home off the glass. She banks it in. And North Park has taken the lead. And you can see the Blue Jays tensing up just a bit, feeling this pressure after an 11-0 run from the Vikings. Dribble drive from Eppard. Three-pointer on the way now. Garvey, too short. Offensive board for Eppard, though. Blue Jays look to reset. Here's Jasmine Bailey. Flips it off for Wyrick. A little crossover dribble. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Long three on the way. No good. These teams having some struggles to knock down the tray. And in transition, North Park will draw another foul. Let's take another look. It's Zakia Newsome trying to go coast to coast, and we'll have a timeout on the floor as the trainers attend to her. Newsome was really going all out in transition and then hit the deck hard. 21-20 the score here on Blue Jay TV. We appreciate you joining us for tonight's ball game. Elmhurst 7-7 and even 500. They've played some stiff competition though. North Park on the other side 8-5. Both these teams with 3 wins in conference play so far this season. Elmhurst has 2 losses to North Park's 1. So North Park currently sits second in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, while Elmhurst is tied for 3rd. And the full North Park coaching staff has gone down to attend to Zakia Newsome as you get a look at Tethny Carrillo and her Elmhurst Blue Jays. Carrillo in her 11th season as the head coach at Elmhurst. Last year led Elmhurst to the most CCIW wins they've had since 1990-1991. They went 19-7 overall, 11-5 in conference. That was a great mark. Those 19 wins, by the way, the most Elmhurst has had since 1985-1986. They've also made 4 straight CCIW tournament appearances, so Tethny Carrillo definitely has this program pointed in the right direction. Carrillo has also had success against this North Park team. Of the last 9 contests between the Vikings and Blue Jays, Elmhurst has taken 8 of them. They've also won 5 straight. The North Park training staff has assisted Zakia Newsome off the court. She was fouled on an attempted layup. So we'll have to pick a shooter here to replace Newsom at the free throw line. It looks like that's going to be Alicia Arnold, a junior guard out of Westfield, Massachusetts. Arnold on the season has made 2/3 of her free throws, and she clangs off number 1. Arnold was first team All-Western Massachusetts in high school. Leads the team in field goal attempts, 3-point field goal attempts this season with 61, and she misses number 2 as well. So the score remains 21-20, another chance for Elmhurst to retake the lead, but aggressive defense for North Park continues to pay off. Alicia Arnold with the steal and then the layup. Flying to the hoop and laying it in. Another turnover forced by the Vikings. This stifling defense is succeeding in the half court, and it's creating all kinds of offense for the Vikings. This time, Gabby Sandoval will draw the foul on the drive. Michaela Eppard really tracked back to ensure that Sandoval would not get an easy look at the bucket. And so now she'll go to the stripe. Free throw number 1, pure. Hannah Henderson re-enters, replacing Georgia Garvey. Free throw number 2 now for Sandoval, who hits almost 70% at the stripe, and it's good. 25-20. North Park goes up now. They're on a 15-0 run. This game was 20-10 at one point. Marissa Urso with it, getting some of her first minutes of the night. Far side Henderson, top of the key. It's Urso. Gets it back to Jasmine Bailey. Her 15-footer, a little strong. Offensive rebound off the bounce for Lisa Logan. Elmhurst trying to end a scoring drought here in quarter number 2. Logan flings it off far side. Left-handed dribble from Bailey, bounce to the corner. The three-pointer from Urso, no good. This time North Park rips down the board. Long outlet pass from Arnold, inside Lippert up with the right, and she draws the foul. This North Park team is playing a real half-court style, just taking what Elmhurst gives them, and they have played a dominant last 5-6 minutes. Lippert at the stripe, the senior center out of Greenville, Wisconsin, and she misses the first free throw. She's shooting almost 52% at the line. Kayla Jones has re-entered for Elmhurst as they trail by 5. Lippert averaging 5 points per game, almost 4 rebounds, and she hits the back end. And Tevni Carrillo well off the bench to coach up the Blue Jays here. Urso's now playing point, and Carrillo wants some more time to coach up her squad. She'll call timeout with almost 7 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. 26-20 the score here at R.A. Faganell Hall. Thanks for joining us on Blue Jay TV. This broadcast presented by Elmhurst, our kind of town. Our producers are Glenn Wilgeberg and Joe Piscitelli. The director is Dennis Bergen. And our cameraman is Paul Sauer. We appreciate you joining us here on a beautiful Wednesday night in Elmhurst, Illinois. A decent crowd on hand here at R.A. Faganell Hall for this CCIW ball game between the North Park Vikings and Elmhurst Blue Jays. Elmhurst has been splitting contests left and right. They can't really string a bunch of wins together, but they're also not losing many in a row. They lost their last contest at Illinois Wesleyan, won the ball game before that at Milliken, lost to Loris before that, and then at the end of December they had back-to-back wins against Carleton and Aurora. So they're looking to get something started here in the middle of January. And if they want to do that, they'll need to work through Michaela Eppard, their All-American. And she's just drawn a foul underneath. Goes against Bree Lippert. Dribble drive here from Urso. Kicks it out for Jones. Urso's three, no good. Offensive board. Eppert, she goes up and draws a foul. And surely that's what Tethny Carrillo was saying during the timeout. We need to get the ball to Michaela Eppert, the senior forward, averaging almost 17 points per game. She plays roughly 32 minutes per contest. She's a workhorse for this Blue Jay team, and she swishes free throw number one. A very sound player. You have to be a sound player to average a double-double. Shoots about 72% at the line. She's hit the first. And she connects on number two as well. So Elmhurst has ended the scoring drought after a 16-0 run from North Park. They get a pair of free throws from Michaela Eppert, who's now into double figures. Eppert has 10 on 4 of 5 shooting, and she's perfect at the stripe. Sloan trying to back down her defender, and she loses it off her own foot. Now Elmhurst in transition. Henderson with the spin. Off to Eppert. She goes up with the right. Her layup no good. A little strong, but an offensive rebound and another opportunity here for Elmhurst. Jones, a head fake. A left-handed drive, rips through, and now Urso's left wide open for three, but she can't connect. Good rebound cleared by Arnold, and she floats it up for her teammate Sloan. Inside Ramos, left-handed bunny, no good. And now Elmhurst will head the other way. It was Jones with the rebound. She can be a rebounding machine. 6.7 boards per game. She turns it over though. Here's Sloan the other way. She wants to pull up from 10 feet, and she knocks it down. Sloan also a solid player, averaging almost 8 points per game and averages almost 9 boards. She can also clean glass. Eppert doubled in the paint. Drive from Urso, right back to the All-American. Eppert up with the left, and it clangs off. It almost dropped. And Eppert will go right back to the stripe. Here's the entry pass for Eppert. Strong left-handed move, but can't finish it off. 2 Vikings and 2 Blue Jays await at the scorer's table as Eppert hits free throw number one. 11 points now for the senior out of Edgewood, Colorado. Eppert earned first-team All-Conference last year, third-team All-American from D3Hoops.com. The first Elmhurst women's player to earn All-America honors before her senior year. She was also named one of 10 finalists for the Jostens Trophy for the National Player of the Year. Truly one of the best players in Division III basketball. She connected on both free throws. She's making them gimmies right now. A dozen for Eppert and a 4-point ball game here at R.A. Faganel Hall. Long three from Alicia Arnold, no good. Elmhurst looks to push. Eppert with the crossover, showing she can do it with the right and the left, and she finishes it off at the rim. 14 points for Michaela Eppert, and Elmhurst is drawn back within 2. After a 16-0 run from North Park, Elmhurst has responded with a 6-2 run of their own. Now a foul in the half court. This one goes on Jasmine Bailey. She picks up foul number 3. And she will be ushered off to the bench by Tethny Carrillo. Now some trouble entering the ball here for the Vikings, but it's eventually corralled in the backcourt. That shot missed by Alicia Arnold. Going the other way, here comes Elmhurst. Dribble drive Henderson, backs down her defender in the paint, off to Eppert. She's got space, and you'll know what she will do with that. Another easy layup from Michaela Eppert, and we're all tied up in Elmhurst. And now a blocking foul in the half court. See the handoff, and it was Kelly Wyrick trying to cut off Alicia Arnold, but she didn't get there in time, so Arnold goes to the stripe. That's foul number 5 against Elmhurst in the quarter, and so they're over the limit. North Park to the stripe. Arnold's first free throw bounces off. Arnold, a junior guard from Westfield, Massachusetts, stands 5'10". Hits 2/3 of her free throws on the year. Back end of the 2 shots. Toilet bowls in. 29-28 the score. Arnold heads off to the bench. Amanda Crockett making some moves here with just under 4 minutes to play in quarter number 2. And North Park has switched off to a 2-3 zone defense here in the half court. They're not going to put any pressure on Elmhurst full court wise, but they've been stifling in the half court. Getting in the passing lane, tipping balls away. Hannah Henderson lines up a long 3. It's off back rim, no good. An opportunity for North Park to push, but they're going to pull it out and go into the half court. It's Sandoval pressured. Up with the left hand on the drive, rolls off. Eppard with the board, hands off to Henderson, and here comes Elmhurst. Near side Garvey, inside Henderson, up with the left, she draws the foul. Both of these teams are getting to the bucket at will. And that time you see the ball saved inbounds by Sinead Malloy. And in basketball, that tends to be a no-no. Don't save the ball under your own bucket, and that time it resulted in 2 free throws for Hannah Henderson. Henderson at the stripe. First one spins around and out. Henderson, a 5'8" senior guard out of Palos Heights, Illinois. Went to Stagg High School. Shaylee Sloan will enter now for North Park with exactly 3 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Swish on free throw number 2 for Henderson. And we have a tie ball game at 29-29. Henderson has 5 points now. 1 of 2 from the floor and 3 of 4 at the stripe. Lauren Alba Gardner starting this North Park offense. Inside it's Sloan with the fadeaway. Misses it, and Wyrick will pick it up and play point. Behind the back dribble off to Michaela Eppard, who has been the go-to man here for the Blue Jays. North Park on the other end. A little trouble corralling the rock here. Eventually Eppard sticks her hand in the passing lane and deflects it out of bounds. (29-29). Let's see if North Park slows things up here a little bit after getting a bit rowdy on that last possession. Here's Arnold. Zips it off to the far side for Sandoval. Gets it to Malloy. Malloy right back to Sandoval. Off a screen from Sloan. Zips it inside. Sloan up with the right hand. Can't find rim. And that's a shot clock violation. Great defense from Elmhurst in the half court. North Park has forced lots of turnovers tonight, but now we see Elmhurst getting some of their own. Inside, and a foul is drawn. Elmhurst just headed back to the stripe. Let's take another look. It's Madrid on the drive, and she draws the foul against Sloan. Madrid had 5 early points. Spent most of the early portion of this quarter on the bench. Now she's back in, and her first free throw rattles around and good. We were talking turnovers. So far, Elmhurst has committed 12 turnovers in this one to North Park's 10. Both these teams have at least 14 points off of turnovers. Free throw number 2, no good. But Elmhurst has regained the lead here, 30-29. Drive from Sandoval. Tries to bank it in, but no good. Eppard with another board. Eppard playing like the All-American that she is. 16 points, 6 rebounds. 4 of them coming on the defensive end. Hannah Henderson Back to Wyrick, long three on the way, no good. Offensive board for Madrid, back up a little strong. The ball tapped around, and we'll call a foul here. The whistle will go against the Blue Jays. You see Madrid reeling in the offensive board. It's poked away from Sloan. And the foul is charged to Julia Madrid. She picks up number 3. Kayla Jones quickly bounces up off the bench, and you have to imagine that she'll replace Madrid here. Sloan at the stripe, 5'9" senior forward who misses number 1. Sloan from Des Plaines, Illinois, out of Maine East High School. Coming into this game, she was 5 of 9 at the free throw line, averaging almost 8 points and almost 9 rebounds per game. She misses number 2, and she also stepped over the line. Got a little bit antsy going after her own rebound. So that free throw line violation will give Elmhurst the ball back as we tick under 1 minute to play here in quarter number 2, and we head toward halftime. A tight contest as we expected. Two teams both with 3 CCIW wins. Eppard up with the left and the foul. The hoop and the harm for the senior forward. And she goes to the stripe with a chance to make it 19 points on the evening already. Eppard with a couple of bounces. Her free throw up and pure as can be. 19 points for the senior. Last year, a finalist for the Jostens Trophy for the National Player of the Year, and there's reason to believe she'll be one again. 33-29. Elmhurst has retaken the lead. Loose ball, and Hannah Henderson picks it up all the way to the bucket, lays it off the glass good. A nice little run for Elmhurst before halftime. It was 26-20 in favor of North Park. But now the Blue Jays have gone on a 15-3 run, and you can see life reinvigorated on the Blue Jay bench as Tesney Carrillo shouts out instructions before the break. Here's Lauren Alba Gardner. Flips it off and gets it back. 4 seconds until the half. And now a 3-second violation called against North Park. Another turnover committed by the Vikings. And Elmhurst will look to get a bucket before half. Just 2.5 seconds left. Wyrick picks it up. Left-handed dribble. Chucks it up with the left hand. Her heave is short. But that doesn't cut into the 6-point edge that Elmhurst currently holds. A 15-3 run for the Blue Jays to close out the half. And we'll take a break here on Blue Jay TV and come back in about 15 minutes. Again, your halftime score at R.A. Faganell Hall, Elmhurst 35, North Park 29.
Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big.
But feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming. They're finishing their playing careers here, and so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just like, I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them, and it's not just office hours. Like, I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually like, whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into that.
A lot of my friends from other universities, they don't get to be a part of undergraduate research, professional development at such an early stage.
They're truly there to help you and to build you and to make sure that you are amazing.
And at Elmhurst, you can be amazing all around, including on the field. Football is just one of 20 Division III sports.
We went straight to the Final Four of the nation, and that was a great way to come in and start off the season.
They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player.
Wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus.
We are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things.
How do you want to get involved? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
Our campus has over 100 clubs and organizations.
Whatever you want to do, there's something here for you to do.
Concert choir, the wind ensemble, gospel choir,
Habitat for Humanity, Global Poverty Club.
I'm an orientation student leader,
SGA, Best Buddies.
Greek life at Elmhurst College is really focused on leadership and discovering who you really are.
To be part of all these different organizations and get to know all these amazing people is why I love Elmhurst.
You can also get to know the world beyond the campus. Elmhurst offers study abroad opportunities in 44 countries.
I studied abroad in Granada,
Holland, Germany, El Salvador,
Israel and Palestine,
Costa Rica,
Czech Republic.
Back at home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of our great location. Downtown Elmhurst is just a short walk from campus, and the Metro train will take you to the world-class city of Chicago in just 30 minutes. When it comes to career preparation, we've got you covered. Elmhurst will connect you with the people and the experiences you need to reach your full potential.
Elmhurst allows you to grow into the knowing, and I appreciate that there's a journey that we encourage. It's not just in one program or one department, it's threaded throughout everything that we do.
Elmhurst College pushes you to truly find who you are as a person and as a professional.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there's going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
If I had to say why Elmhurst would be the best option for nursing education, I would say because you don't have to be big to be the best. We have all of the student services, we have all the educational services, the excellent curriculum and faculty, so we're not big, but we are the best. We have a state-of-the-art simulation center, and I have seen many sim centers across the nation, and this one is truly, truly remarkable.
The professors there encourage us to make mistakes because it is simulation, and they want us to learn from our mistakes.
Going to the sim lab that's actually in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, it's really, really cool. The facility is amazing, it's brand new.
What the simulation center consists of are mannequins, but these aren't just mannequins like you've seen before where you do CPR. Our mannequins talk to you. Our mannequins birth babies. Our mannequins cry. If you don't do what you need to do as a nurse to our mannequins, they will die. So what we do is actually simulate experiences in real life that you will see as a nurse, and you get to make mistakes without hurting people.
At any school you can learn the skills, but I feel like at Elmhurst, the faculty and staff are encouraging us to do more.
They're always passionate about what they do, and I think that's very important. One of my professors said,
You don't just want to be a good nurse, you want to be the best nurse.
We do have many partners in the community at Elmhurst College, and basically we have to. We rely on our community partners to provide that clinical education piece. So while we are there with our students, side by side, teaching them, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the clinical partners. I think our faculty are our gems here. When you come to Elmhurst for nursing education, you will receive your education from clinical specialists. You can be good as a clinician, but that doesn't make you a good educator. We need excellent educators to be able to translate that theory into practice for our nursing students.
I got on the floor, and after a few weeks working with my clinical instructor and working with my classmates and collaborating, it really has provided me with a safe space to, talk to my instructor, talk to my other peers, and really work together to build my confidence and competency as a future nurse.
I feel like they are preparing me well, and I have no doubt that in a short year and a half that I'll be ready to go out into the world and be a nurse helping patients.
Our students are working everywhere. We have students working in schools, hospitals, and in community health settings. So our students are really everywhere. We don't just teach, we change lives.
I love when people ask me, okay, what can I do now that I'm here? I'm in the honors program, being a part of Union Board,
Best Buddies, Student Government, Debate Club,
Relay for Life, the Research Keystone program,
Greek Life,
Tri Beta,
Juggling Club,
Student Ambassadors.
Once you get here, there are plenty of things going on. Serving the community is such a huge part of being an Elmhurst College student.
Center for Professional Excellence has a whole department and team ready to help you get involved with community service.
I think one of my favorite ones would have to be when I joined Golden Crew. The organization itself focuses on pediatric cancer. We had like a whole scavenger hunt for them, and I dressed up as Batman and kind of helped lead them through the entire experience. And it was kind of really like a humbling thing.
Being able to plan homecoming the last 4 years, it was really honestly one of the best experiences I've had here. I don't think I would have been this social or this confident if I wasn't part of the 10,000 things that I get the opportunity to be a part of every day.
The connections that you make on this campus, both in your academic classes as well as the different service organizations or just activities you get involved in, give you the opportunity to really get out there. Making those connections isn't something that's superficial. It's something that you get here as an experience. It's something that is going to carry on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're coming here to get a degree, but your 4 years in college aren't just defined by that. It's by all the things that you're involved in, and the people that you meet, and the way that you meet those people is by getting involved.
Definitely being on the cross country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other. You get to know each other on a really personal level that you might not otherwise just by meeting these girls in class. So you get to know about their families and their classes and their goals for the season, and you really support each other. The Division III athlete is kind of the perfect balance of student athlete too. You still get your sport, and it's highly competitive, and we compete just as much as the D1 athletes do, but then we are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things. I know a lot of the girls on my team and myself are involved in a lot of other clubs and organizations, and I feel like at a D1 school you kind of are limited. You can only be on your sports team and then study too for your classes. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I gonna do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And they were ecstatic. Like, they helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, like, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think like, oh, like, you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so like, what do I want? Like, just having a drive, a motivation to like go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
The teachers are extremely approachable.
The one-on-one interaction has really helped me find that passion.
I learned that no goal is too big.
They want you to network and then take risks because that's how it's going to be in your practical life.
They want us to succeed just as much as we do.
More of a learning experience, I think, outside of the classroom.
Various opportunities to really dive into different viewpoints.
Elmhurst fosters that environment of openness and everyone contributing to the greater good.
Elmhurst really challenges you to keep an open mind.
I went to Jamaica for 2 weeks. I came back with a whole new perspective.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there is going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
Through research, I've been able to go to all these new places, and I've also been able to really broaden my perspective.
We go in the field as pre-service teachers sophomore year.
I've exceeded what I thought at 18 years old walking on this campus that I could do.
Coming back to Elmhurst at my age has allowed me to see that, yes, I have the potential to do other things.
And it's helping me grow to be a better leader.
I feel like I've been more prepared than I have ever been before in my life.
I don't want to be a blank slate. I want there to be lots of dimensions to me.
I'm going to be able to do something that's going to matter in this world.
I want to be that voice for people that can't speak up for themselves.
Without this school, I don't think I would have gone after those motivations or those dreams.
The people around me and the resources the school has allowed me to reach my potential.
Definitely ready for the real world.
There's always a new experience like right around the corner. I didn't plan on running here, and then like right before school started, I emailed Coach Eric Guda. I sort of have been running this summer, and I've always been a runner. What if I joined the team? And he was like so excited about it, and he was just very welcoming about it. So the fact that I came into the school with like 17 other people that were runners and I had something to relate with, that was awesome. Since we're all D3 athletes, school comes first, athletes come second, but at the same time, we're playing that role 24/7. And it's really helpful that like I don't just have this cross-country family, I have all the athletes here on campus that I know I can like relate to in some way. There's so many opportunities here that, you know, help you push you in the right direction, and there's always someone to help you along the way and support you and be your friend and also be your professor and also be your coach and be your mentor, and there's just so many different roles that you can connect one-on-one with everyone.
Welcome back to R.A. Faganell Hall, where our halftime score is Elmhurst 39, Elmhurst 35, North Park 29. We appreciate you joining us here on Blue Jay TV. Tonight's broadcast presented by Elmhurst, our kind of town. And as you take a look there at Tethny Carrillo, who has a 6-point halftime lead, confident in her Blue Jays and especially in Michaela Eppert, the All-American, has performed extremely well this evening. 19 points on 7 of 9 shooting. She's 5 of 6 at the free throw stripe, and she has 6 rebounds to go with it. Of course, the senior is averaging a double-double this season with 16 points and more than 10 rebounds a night. If we recap that first half really quickly, Elmhurst went up 9-2 early. Amanda Crockett, the North Park head coach, called timeout. Her Vikings fought back, made it 9-8. Then Elmhurst really stretched it out to go up 20-10. That's when things kind of unwound for the Blue Jays. A 16-0 run for the Vikings in the middle of the first half to make it 26-20, a North Park lead midway through the second quarter. Then Elmhurst rebounded again. They go on a 15-3 run of their own to close out the half, and that's where we stand as we begin quarter number 3. 35-29 the score. A jumper from Shaylee Sloan, the first shot of this third quarter. She misses on the putback as well, and there's a tie-up on the next rebound. It was Bree Lippert who came down with it, and the arrow points to the Blue Jays. a huge difference in the styles of play here. And now North Park is going to come out with some full court pressure. They played in the half court the entire first half. Bounce pass off to Eppert, and she knows what to do with that. Kisses it off the glass and in. She's got 21 points, and Elmhurst leads by 8. But as I was saying, a big difference in style here, at least offensively. North Park really trying to get it to the block, get looks that are within 10 feet. They've only taken 1 3-pointer all night, while Elmhurst has chucked up a dozen trays in half number 1. Now a whistle inside. That foul goes on Lisa Logan. It's the first foul of the quarter against the Blue Jays. Inbounds pass stolen away by Hannah Henderson, but she'll pick it up in transition after a couple of Vikings got back. Kick out pass for Wyrick, who will set this Blue Jay offense up. Henderson on the drive, sent away. Good defense inside from Alicia Arnold. As you take another look here, Wyrick with the dribble handoff for Henderson, who's blocked inside. Henderson will be the inbounder now for Elmhurst. Gets it into Jasmine Bailey. She lines up a tray and connects. The 3-pointer for the Blue Jays puts them up by 11. It's their biggest lead of the night now as we are just over a minute into quarter number 3. Bree Lippert, long 2-pointer, too short. Bangs off, but the Vikings are able to pick it up. Entry pass swatted away. Picked up in the corner by Ramos, able to float it back out. And now Sandoval will have a chance to take a 3. She misses, offensive board for Lippert. Bounces it out slow, and her jumper rolls around and also misfires. And then there's a foul on the rebound. Wyrick came down with it, and she was bumped from behind. The foul goes on Alicia Arnold. That's the first in the quarter against North Park. It's also the first personal foul against Arnold. Shaylee Sloan goes to the bench, and Amanda Crockett really does not like how this half has started off for North Park, so she will use a TO. So Elmhurst picks up right where they left off at the end of the first half. They were on a 15-3 run, making it a 35-29 halftime lead. And they've started this half off with a 5-0 run. So they're on a 20-3 run and lead by 11. Let's review some more stats here, as we didn't get too much time to go over our halftime stats. North Park is shooting just under 37% from the floor, while Elmhurst is up at 44%. A good clip from the floor overall. They're 2 of 13 from deep, though, while North Park hasn't connected on either of the 2 trays they've taken. Elmhurst 10 of 12 at the stripe as well. They're making the fouls that they're able to draw count, while the Vikings are 7 of 13 at the free throw line. Fair amount of turnovers in this one as well. Elmhurst has scored 24 points off of turnovers. In fact, while North Park has 15. 10 fast break points for the Vikings as well. We've seen them get into the passing lanes in the half court, and they started this quarter off in a full court press, but it looks like they'll back off. Amanda Crockett has switched up her defensive strategy throughout this one. We also saw them go 2-3 zone near the end of the first half. And again, some pressure creates a loose ball. Henderson gets it back, though, and zips it off to the far side. Eventually, we get back to the near side for Wyrick. He zings it over to Lisa Logan, who dribble drives inside and lays it high off the glass and in. A 22-3 run for the Blue Jays, who lead by 13. Ramos pushes off with the left arm, and they'll call the offensive foul. Ramos picks up foul number 3. Take another look. You can see her extend the left arm, the forearm into the defender, and it's an easy whistle for the official. A little trouble breaking the press for Elmhurst, but they get it across. Now a trap near the Blue Jay bench. Eventually they swing it around. Jasmine Bailey. Good on the 3. Jasmine Bailey knocks down the triple. 45-29 Blue Jays. They've opened this one up in the early going of the third quarter. The Vikings pressing a little bit. Their 3 no good. It was Ramos looking for the long distance shot. Bounce pass inside Eppard. Ripped away from her, and this one dribbles out of bounds. It'll stay on this end with the Blue Jays as Lauren Alba Gardner gets off the bench and will replace Gabby Sandoval. Henderson to trigger. Gets to Wyrick. And the 5'4" point guard gets out of the trees and passes it off to a teammate up top. It's Lisa Logan who gets it inside, but not before a whistle against North Park. Everything going Elmhurst way right now. The foul is against Bree Lippert. She picks up number 3, and the Vikings are in foul trouble now. Ramos has 3, Lippert has 3. And Amanda Crockett really needs Lippert in the game to put a sizable body on Michaela Eppard, who will take advantage of any kind of height or size advantage that she can get inside. Fresh shot clock for the Blue Jays. Here's a spin from Logan, left-handed dribble to the corner for Wyrick. She's worked the baseline all night. Crafty maneuvering through the paint, then she flips it out, back inside for Eppard, backs down her defender, double team, kicks it out. But first there's a 3-second violation against the senior, and she looks over at Tethny Carrillo and says, I don't know what I could do there. 3 bodies on me in the middle of the paint. A tough situation for the senior guard / forward. She can really do it all. 45-29. Elmhurst currently on a 25-3 run. North Park led 26-20 in quarter number 2. And Sinead Malloy will be able to draw a foul here against Hannah Henderson. Henderson picks up her 2nd of the night. Foul number 2 against Elmhurst in the quarter. Henderson has played a solid contest. 7 points, 3 steals. That's the big number, really, in her stat line. 4 assists, and she's 2 of 4 from the floor. Malloy, other side. Now it's kicked out for a jumper from McKenna Powell, no good. An offensive rebound from Alicia Panthier. Left-handed drive from Powell. Her scoop shot rolls off. Elmhurst the other way. Nice bounce pass. Threading the needle. Kelly Wyrick off to Hannah Henderson, who puts it in. 47-29 Blue Jays. 9 points now for Henderson. Wyrick adds an assist to her stat line tonight. She has 6 rebounds as well. Malloy on the drive, floats it up, and it's no good off the front of the rim. But there is a whistle against the Blue Jays. Here you see Malloy, good crossover dribble, protecting the basketball. Very tight crossover to get into the paint. And then draws the foul. The foul was on Michaela Eppard, her 2nd. 3 against Elmhurst now in the quarter. 3 to each side so far in this period. First free throw from Malloy, up, high bounce and off. Malloy, a freshman guard out of Chicago, Illinois, went to Trinity High School. Shoots 56% at the stripe and averages more than 5 points per game. She also has 1.7 steals per contest, and we've seen that pesky North Park defense get in the passing lanes tonight. She misses the back end of the 2 shots as well, and Hannah Henderson corrals the rebound. North Park currently down by 18 after a 27-3 run from Elmhurst. The jumper from Jones, good. A 17-footer just to the left of the elbow drops. And it's now a 29-3 run for the Blue Jays. The Vikings yet to score in half number 2. Lauren Alba Gardner picks it up about 15 feet from the bucket. Now a left-handed shot from Powell, bangs off. Jones the rebound, and she'll take it up herself. Zips it off to Henderson, and it's poked out of bounds by Malloy. Still a lot of pressure defense from this North Park team, who will need a lot of fight to get back into this ball game. Entry pass for Bailey. Bailey hit a 3 earlier in this quarter, igniting this Elmhurst offense. Entry pass Madrid. She's got space. Left-handed shot. Banks it in. Nice move by Madrid. She's having an excellent night. 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting. And this Elmhurst run will force Amanda Crockett to use another TO. Here's another look. Great entry pass, first of all. They keep it high for Madrid, who stands at 6 foot. And so fundamental. The left-handed shot off the glass is good. It's a 51-29. A little more than halfway through our third quarter here. Thanks for joining us on Blue Jay TV. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Elmhurst, our kind of town, and it's been an Elmhurst kind of night at R.A. Faganell Hall. The Blue Jays up by 22 and forcing Amanda Crockett, the head coach at North Park, to use a TO. She's in her 9th year, by the way. She served as an assistant coach at the University of Illinois at Chicago, UIC, from 2004 to 2008. She was also an assistant at the University of Chicago from 2000 to 2004. Eventually, she made her way to North Park University, a 3-time team captain in her playing days at Northern Illinois University. She's been all around the Chicagoland area. Elmhurst first a turnover right out of the timeout, but then Eppard traveled along the baseline. She seems confused, and maybe for good reason. Perhaps she took an extra step, but in any case, it's North Park basketball underneath their own bucket. A fresh shot clock for the Vikings, who trail by 22 here in the third quarter. Sandoval picks it up, her runner way too long, and Jones has the rebound. (16-0) the score here in quarter number 3, as in Elmhurst has scored 16 points in this period, while the Vikings have yet to put the ball in the bucket in quarter number 3. And now we got a foul on the offensive rebound. It was Kayla Jones playing really strong inside to control the basketball and then get the whistle. The foul goes against Alicia Panthier, her first. Number 4 against North Park in the third quarter, and the next one will put Elmhurst in the bonus. Entry pass for Madrid, trying to get into double figures. Instead, she flings it out for her teammate Henderson. Eppard posting up, she faces, cross-court pass Madrid, corner 3 for Henderson, a little strong, and now it's poked out of bounds by Madrid, trying to chase down an offensive board. Three and a half minutes left in quarter number 3. Still plenty of time for North Park, but they're facing quite the deficit. Sandoval with the spin and a bounce pass to the baseline. Little 12-foot jumper good from Bree Lippert, showing she can stretch the floor a little bit. The senior center has played well tonight. She's been up to the task of facing Michaela Eppert, at least when she's been able to get position. This one tapped out of bounds, and it will stay on the Blue Jay end. Hannah Henderson off the bench, as well as Sandoval, as both teams put a new player in the ball game. That last North Park bucket, by the way, was their first of quarter number 3. Elmhurst up by 20. The Vikings finally snapping that scoring skid. The Blue Jays were on a 31-3 run. Poked away on the drive. Lisa Logan loses it. Transition now for North Park. At the bucket, layup no good from Alba Garner. And off the bounce, it's corralled by Bree Lippert, and we get a jump ball. The arrow points to the Vikings, so they get a fresh shot clock and an inbound underneath their own hoop. Lauren Alba Garner with it, a freshman from Niles, Illinois. Zips it off to Sinead Malloy, who tries to force the issue, and the double team works for Elmhurst as Malloy loses it out of bounds. Subs here now for Tevni Carrillo. Tapping Georgia Garvey, the sophomore from Gold Coast, Australia, into the game. Michaela Eppard will take a breather, and, well, she's earned it this evening. 21 points for Eppard, 7 rebounds, 8 of 10 from the floor. She's got 3 steals as well. Jones faces up. And again, the Vikings are in the passing lane. Malloy with the steal and the coast-to-coast layup. Malloy's got 4 points, 4 steals, and she was all alone in the front court that time. Jones with the drive. They'll wave off the bucket. Foul was on the ground against North Park. That should be foul number 5. Indeed it is. So Jones will go to the stripe as the Vikings are over the limit. Foul number 3 on Shaylee Sloan. Jones' first free throw up and finds nothing but net. She shoots 76% at the stripe. A senior from Maple Grove, Minnesota, went to Maple Grove High School. She was second team all-conference last year in the CCIW and third team in 2015-2016. Misfires on free throw number 2, so we keep it 52-33, excuse me, with about 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. And North Park's looking for quick buckets. Here you see Alicia Arnold driving right into an Elmhurst defender. That was Lisa Logan picking up foul number 3 on the night. 4 fouls against Elmhurst in the quarter. At the line, Arnold, and she connects on free throw number 1. Arnold had 18 points in her last outing. A loss against Wheaton College, 87-56. Misses the free throw. Offensive rebound for Sloan. That one rolls around and won't drop. There's been a lid on the bucket on that end of the court in this quarter. Just 5 points for the Vikings in this period. Baseline drive, Wyrick. 3 from the corner, a little strong. Malloy chases down the board. Logan and Malloy going at it here in quarter number 3. Sloan, baseline drive, backs down her defender, and again, the Vikings able to draw a foul. They'll go back to the line as we take another look. You see Sloan backing down her defender with the shoulder. And this is what North Park wants right now. They want points with the clock stopped because even though it's only quarter number 3, they face a 17-point deficit after that made free throw from Sloan. Michaela Eppard re-enters as Julia Madrid hustles off to the bench. But yeah, Amanda Crockett wants to get to the free throw line here while she can in quarter number 3. There Sloan hits free throw number 2, and it's a 16-point ball game, 52-36. Elmhurst is led by as much as 22. Lisa Logan bounces it, cross-court pass for Wyrick. Nice entry to Eppard, who has to throw it far side. 3 on the way, off back rim, no good. Logan can't track down the board. Here comes North Park, a crossover in transition that sends a Blue Jay to the floor. Some nice passing and a wide open layup for Bree Lippert. That's worth another look. A lot of good passing from the Vikings on that possession to make it a 14-point ball game. Here's Logan, bounces it off Eppert, up with the right hand. That one rolls around and in, and it's a 16-point ball game again. The Vikings were on a very impressive run, but that bucket silences it for the moment. Now a turnaround jumper from Sloan falls, and this North Park offense is really finding its stride late in the third quarter. They are on an 11-3 run, following a huge run from Elmhurst, a 31-3 run that spanned the second and third quarters. 8 seconds left now in the period. Wyrick dribbling left, looking for space. Now Jones goes up with the right hand, stuffed by her defender. It was Sloan with the block, and that concludes period number 3. A very hot start to the second half for Elmhurst. They went on a huge run, a 31-3 run to eventually lead 51-29 midway through the third period. But North Park closed very strong in that quarter with an 11-3 run of their own, and we have a 14-point ball game, still a contest going into quarter number 4. Thanks again for joining us on Blue Jay TV. Tonight's broadcast presented by Elmhurst, our kind of town. We appreciate you coming aboard at R.A. Faganell Hall, where We might have a tight one here in quarter number 4. We might not. It depends on how Amanda Crockett's Vikings respond in the final 10 minutes. Elmhurst entered this one 7-7, North Park at 8-5. Both these teams in the top 4 of the CCIW standings. The Vikings 3-1 entering this contest, while Elmhurst is 3-2. That puts North Park in second place in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, while Elmhurst is tied up in third with Wheaton. Illinois Wesleyan, by the way, is a perfect 5-0, and they sit atop the CCIW. Augustana and Carroll are tied for 5th at 2-2. Carthage is in 7th at 1-3. North Central is 1-3 as well, so they're tied up for 7th. And Milliken rounds it out in 9th at 0-5. Elmhurst has been good at home this season, 4-3, just a little above 500. North Park on the road, just 1-2. They haven't been tested all that much away from home this season. To start this fourth quarter, Hannah Henderson had a chance on the backdoor cut, but she missed the layup. And the Vikings have a chance to draw within a dozen. Currently on an 11-3 run. Sloan out to Arnold. High arcing 3 drops for the junior. Make it a 14-3 run for the Vikings, who have really made this a ball game. Some pressure on the Blue Jays now to start off the fourth quarter. Wyrick at the top, trying to pace this offense. Long 3 from her. Clangs off, tapped around by Eppert, or rather, that was Daniela Borisic who tracked down the rebound, and she gets Elmhurst another possession. Jasmine Bailey triggers the tray. Hard off the rim, and it's tracked down by Malloy. She pushes in transition. Cross-court pass for Arnold, who thought about a 3, then thought better of it. Inside for Sloan, off the glass and good. And the North Park fans, who have made their way from the north side of Chicago, are making some noise on the far side here at R.A. Faganell Hall. A 16-3 run for North Park. And now a travel. Eppert took a step before she put the basketball down. She's in disbelief. And Tethany Carrillo will take that turnover as an opportunity to use a timeout. 54-45. And if you've ever seen a game of runs, this is probably the biggest one you'll ever see. A 16-3 run here from North Park between the third and fourth quarters, following a 31-3 run from Elmhurst. And in the first half, North Park had a 16-0 run. Early in this ball game, Elmhurst led 20-10. North Park clawed right back to go up 26-20. And then before halftime, Elmhurst goes on a 15-3 run to go up 35-29. They keep that run going and going. Eventually it becomes a 31-3 run in which they just annihilated North Park in the first half of the third quarter. Eventually, the Vikings make that run at the end of the third and start of this fourth quarter. We have a contest. 54-45 as we resume play after the Tethany Carrillo timeout. Sloan posting up on the block, and she'll draw a foul on the entry bounce pass. That's the first foul against Elmhurst in the quarter. And it creates a fresh shot clock here for North Park. Sloan on the far side. Little no-look pass to the corner for Arnold, who misses the tray. The ball tapped out of bounds off the rebound, and it goes to the Blue Jays. Arnold has got a little trigger happy here in the second half. She's played a good game, though, for sure, for this North Park team. Wyrick on the drive, misses the lefty bunny. Sloan with the rebound. Arnold has 7 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep. She's got the ball here, picks it up, free throw line, entry pass Sloan. She turns around and again with the right is able to make the bank shot. Sloan is hot here in quarter number 4. 10 points for her on 4 of 11 shooting, 9 rebounds as well. She's a board away from a double-double, and it's a 7-point contest. Wyrick left alone on the left side. She doesn't want the shot, though. Here's Bailey. Near side, Borisic. Off to Wyrick, who head fakes. Hannah Henderson, the tray. Clangs off. Rebound to Sloan. Sloan is feeling it right now. Flips it over to Arnold in transition. A 7-point contest at R.A. Faganell Hall. Malloy, left-handed dribble. Sets a screen for Alba Garner, who hits the long two. Alba Garner hasn't played a whole lot tonight. She's averaging 6 points per game this season in over 20 minutes. But now she's contributing in crunch time. 2 points for her on 1 of 3 shooting this evening. Michaela Eppert, left-handed drive, and her shot is good. The Blue Jays need Eppert now more than ever. 25 points for her on 10 of 12 shooting, 8 rebounds. Arnold, crossover dribble on Wyrick. Her entry pass deflected, corralled by Borisic, tied up, but there was a foul first, and it will go against North Park. The foul goes against Alicia Arnold. She picks up number 2. First team foul against North Park in this fourth quarter. 56-49 our score. North Park currently on a 20-5 run, making this a real close contest in the final period. Jasmine Bailey with a little space, fakes a shot, fakes a pass, right-handed drive, scoop shot high off the glass, finds nothing but twine. Crafty move from Jasmine Bailey. Look at the senior. Oh yeah, just flip it off the glass and in. 58-49 after a little trickery from the senior out of Ottawa, Illinois, who averages a dozen a night for these Blue Jays. Alba Garner dribbles into Hannah Henderson, and they'll call the foul on Henderson. She puts her hands on her head, really couldn't believe it. Was just a second or two shy of getting set. Let's take another look. Alba Garner fakes the crossover, and Henderson thought the screen was coming. She really did, and she probably didn't get her feet set before Alba Garner tried to go back right. So a quick TO now for Amanda Crockett and the Vikings with just under 6 minutes to play at R.A. Faganell Hall. A back-and-forth affair this evening in the western suburbs of Chicago. CCIW action in play here at R.A. Faganell Hall. Let's take a quick look at what's next for your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. After this ball game, they'll have Carthage College on the road in Kenosha coming up here this Saturday at 5 p.m. They're on the road, and then they'll have a full week off before they play North Central College here at home, right back at R.A. Faganell Hall the following Saturday at 2 p.m. Got a couple of road games in late January. The 24th, they play at Carroll University. They follow that up with a game in Naperville at North Central College. The Blue Jays are coming off a victory, 85-70, they're coming off a loss, 87-61 at Illinois Wesleyan. But their last matchup against North Park, they won 85-71. That was last year on January 28th. Eppert had 27 points in that ball game. Surprise, surprise. And we will resume play now after the North Park timeout. Alba Garner playing point. The freshman out of Niles gives it to the far side where it's Alicia Arnold. Lippert, a head fake. A nice move to get to the bucket, but she misses the gimme. Eppert may have got back and forced Lippert to force that shot. Good defense from the senior. Jasmine Bailey wants a long three off front rim. Backboard no good. Bringing down the board is Sloan. She's got a double-double now tonight. Sloan working on Logan. Kisses it off the glass. She uses the backboard so well. We've seen it time and time again tonight. (58-51). Bailey is taking a lot of threes tonight into Eppert. Little rip through, up with the right hand, and banks it home. When in doubt, give it to Michaela Eppert and let her work on the block. Let's take another look. High entry pass, head fake, rip through. High off the glass and good. A patented Michaela Eppert move to make it 60-51. Her free throw off back iron. Offensive rebound for Bailey off of bounds though. And that's something the Vikings really can't afford. They're able to tie it up, and they'll have the arrow. So the ball will go back to North Park after the jump ball. Eppert 27 points after the and one. She's taken 13 shots. She's made 11 of them. She's also 5 of 6 at the stripe. If Michaela Eppert shoots the rock, it's probably going in. 4.5 minutes to play. Entry pass Sloan up at the right. It's blocked. Loose ball and a foul against the Blue Jays. Alba Garner got it just in time to draw the foul against Henderson. Here's the replay. Sloan had her shot knocked away. Garner corralled it on a hop, and then she was bumped by a Blue Jay. That was Henderson. Henderson picks up foul number 4 and goes to the bench, replaced by Kelly Wyrick. Arnold off the inbound, gives it off. Alba Garner, hesitation move to the right, up with the right, and she draws the foul. And all night, North Park has looked to draw contact and get to the free throw line where they shoot 65%. A decent clip for these Vikings. First free throw on the way, and good. Alba Garner this evening has 3 points, 1 of 3 shooting. That was her first free throw of the night. She hit 70% from the stripe. A freshman guard out of Niles, who played at Maine East High School, was selected to the all-conference team 3 times while at Maine East, but she misses free throw number 2. So it remains an 8-point contest. 4 minutes to play at R.A. Faganell Hall. Eppert up top, gets it to Bailey. They swing it far side, Wyrick. Her pass to Eppert stolen away. Malloy has had active hands all night. Now she's trapped. This one tied up, and this time the arrow will point to Elmhurst. It's been North Park most of this evening with double teams, with tricky defense, switching up from zone to man. That time, it's the Blue Jays with a heads-up move. Logan and Bailey trapping Sinead Malloy to force that turnover. Blue Jays with the ball back. Eppert off to Logan. Wyrick left open for 3. No good. Offensive rebound for Eppert, who throws it in with the left hand. An offensive rebound and an ensuing bucket for the senior gives her a double-double, 29 points, 10 rebounds for the All-American. Blue Jays have stretched the lead to double digits again. And after that air ball, they are looking good. Under 3 minutes, we tick. Bailey will play point. The Vikings will have to start putting some pressure on these Blue Jays and force some turnovers down the stretch if they want a chance. That shot blocked. Eppert hits the deck. Alba Garner in transition to the bucket. Right-handed layup a little too short. It bounces off. Alba Garner gets it back, but she slipped onto the end line. And that sends the ball back to Elmhurst. And Amanda Crockett will use a timeout. So 2 minutes, 34 seconds to play here at R.A. Faganell Hall. 62-52, Elmhurst leads. A game of back and forth, cat and mouse here at R.A. Faganell Hall this evening. Blue Jays jumped out to an early 9-2 edge, only for North Park to crawl back in, make it 9-8. Blue Jays extended it to 20-10. A 16-0 run from North Park made it 26-20. And then a huge stretch from Elmhurst in which they went on a 31-3 run. Made it a 51-29 lead for the Blue Jays, leading by 22 midway through the third quarter. That's when North Park kicked it up a notch for this final stretch They put it in gear, got back into this ball game, but Elmhurst has finished strong here in quarter number 4. And now Elmhurst will use a timeout as well. Tevny Carrillo says, give me a little more time to talk this over. So both teams using a timeout here with 2.5 minutes to play in the contest. Thanks again for joining us on Blue Jay TV. Tonight's broadcast presented to you by Elmhurst, Our Kind of Town. I want to send a big thank you to our producers, Glenn Wiljeberg and Joe Piscitelli. Also want to thank our director, Dennis Bergen, and our cameraman, Paul Sauer, all working very hard behind the scenes to bring you tonight's contest. 62-52, and you can see Tevny Carrillo there in her 11th season as the coach here at Elmhurst, talking to her players and trying to figure out what they need to do for this final stretch. Carrillo had a very successful last season, going 19-7, 11-5 in conference play, the most wins the Blue Jays have had since 1985, 1986. And they're trying to build on that momentum this season. Elmhurst currently sitting at 500, 7-7 on the season, and they can jump above that 500 mark if they can hold this edge. Inbounds pass stolen away by Sloan. Ball on the deck, and we'll see what we get here. The official pointing towards the bench, and they say that Elmhurst was able to get a timeout in. Heads up play by Kelly Wyrick diving on the basketball. We didn't see everyone get on the floor there. Wyrick did, and that maintained possession for Elmhurst. Surely not exactly what Carrillo was thinking she'd get out of the timeout, but they maintained possession nonetheless. A quick look at our stats again for this evening. Michaela Eppert has been the story, really pacing the Blue Jays with 29 points, 10 rebounds, 12 of 15 from the floor. No one else on this Elmhurst team is in double figures, but Jasmine Bailey has 8. Julia Madrid has 8. She had 5 of those right away for the Blue Jays. A hot start for the junior forward from Carlsbad, California. Hannah Henderson has 9 points. Lisa Logan has 5. And then Kayla Jones has 3. On the other side, a dozen for Shaylee Sloan, 10 for Clarissa Ramos, 9 points for Bree Lippert, 7 for Alicia Arnold, and then 4 for Sinead Malloy. Full court press now from North Park. They need to force some turnovers if they want back in this ball game, and there's one. Sloan pokes it away, forces the issue, backs down Kelly Wyrick, and draws the foul. That's foul number 5 on Elmhurst. So for this final 2 minutes, 23 seconds, North Park will be in the bonus, and sure enough, there was Sloan throwing her body into Wyrick and drawing the foul. It's foul number 3 on Wyrick, the freshman guard of Arlington Heights. And the free throw from Sloan, no good. They'll have to make Elmhurst pay at the stripe if they want a chance to get back in this contest. Free throw number 2, good. More full court pressure here. This time Wyrick able to break it by passing it off to Henderson. Numbers for Elmhurst, but they'll back it out. Sloan giving Wyrick space at the top. Now she throws a little bit more pressure on. Wyrick, left-hand dribble off to Bailey, who pulls a 3. No good. Tapped around. Eppert the offensive rebound. The senior All-American coming in clutch here for Elmhurst in the closing moments. Bailey denies a 3, dribbles in. Now out to Eppert. 10 on the shot clock for the Blue Jays. Henderson with the crossover. Out to Bailey. Another 3 on the way. Front rim, no good. North Park has it on a bounce. Garner puts it down, but she pulled her foot first. A travel called against the Vikings with just 94 seconds remaining. Here's another look. Bailey missing the 3, and that pass didn't need to go to Alba Garner just yet. But the Blue Jays still able to put some pressure on the backcourt and force that turnover. 62-53, a spin move from Lisa Logan all the way to the bucket, and she lays it in. That may be the nail in the coffin as the Blue Jays go up by 11. Alba Gardner, a spin move. Goes up with it, misses, tries to grab her own rebound, but Eppard's too strong. It's flipped off to Hannah Henderson, who will drive in, kick it out for Bailey. Her three too strong, tapped out of bounds, and it's off a Blue Jay hand. Here's another look at the crafty move from Lisa Logan, putting her defender in the spin cycle and getting to the bucket. Kelly Wyrick applying some full court pressure, cuts off Alba Gardner, who has to spin away from a second defender, and now it's stripped away. Good defense from Hannah Henderson, who applies the double team and gets the steal in the backcourt. 45 seconds and ticking now at R.A. Faganell Hall. Elmhurst eyeing win number 4 in CCIW action, and Lisa Logan will get to the stripe after drawing that foul. Here's Logan getting around Malloy and then drawing the foul on Sloan. Logan has used that scoop shot around the bucket this evening, and had she got that one off clean, there's a good chance she ends up with an and one. For Logan this evening, 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. First free throw up, and it hits high off the rim, no good. Logan, a junior guard out of Aurora, Illinois. Appeared in all 26 games last year for Elmhurst. This season shooting almost 77% at the stripe. Free throw number 2, rattles around and drops. The Blue Jays lead by a dozen. Now North Park really in the hole. Sloan gets it across half court, and it's poked out of bounds. Kelly Wyrick really has played some smart basketball tonight. Coming in with double teams, getting a hand on the basketball on the drive. Really great defense from the freshman guard. That shot from Alba Gardner a bit wild. She's able to get it back though. Now a corner 3 from Clarissa Ramos, too strong. The rebound brought down by Lisa Logan. She gets it to Henderson, and now the Blue Jays may be able to dribble this one out. Logan tries to spin around Sloan, and there's a whistle, a foul against Sloan. Blue Jays will go back to the stripe. Here's one more look. Sloan got a little bit too much up in the grill of Logan there. That is foul number 5 against Shaylee Sloan. She'll exit with 13 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double for the senior forward out of Des Plaines, Illinois. It's a great performance for her. Elmhurst enters the ball to Michaela Eppard. A little pressure near the half-court line. And as the final seconds tick away, Elmhurst secures win number 4 in CCIW action. The Blue Jays defeat the North Park University Vikings by a final score of 65-53. The Blue Jays paced this evening by Michaela Eppard, who had 29 points and 12 rebounds. That'll do it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks again for joining us on Blue Jay TV. Tonight's broadcast presented by Elmhurst, our kind of town. Again, your final score from R.A. Faganell Hall, Elmhurst 65, North Park 53.